Hello.
Oh, how are you?
I'm good, and how are
I'm all
you?
right. I'm all right. My daughter's nicked, taken all the dining chairs to build a fort.
Oh,
Yeah, having to
oh,
myself. Yeah. So how are you? Have you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm all right. I'm good. You know, getting on with it.
Fantastic. So it's a new year. Are you doing dry January? Given that you've just seen you sip some water.
I,
I'm water.
I am going on a. I'm going to be healthy for the rest of my life. Flow at the moment.
Right.
So I kicked the away.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been to that, so that's over. And yes, I am behind on my 2 liters of water today. So hence I'll be sipping away at this tonight. But yes, I have also kicked the go dry.
Right. So I'm
Yeah.
just going to put in the chat that today we're talking about healthy habits.
Mm.
And what does that mean in terms of, is it about setting good examples for our children?
Uh, yes, it is. It is.
So,
Yeah. And I think it's also exercising and eating as well. I
mhm.
think it's both of them. Um, yeah. What do you think? What do you think?
Okay, I'm trying to write in the chat. I don't know, my spelling. New Year's resolutions. So we're doing healthy habits, New
Mhm.
Year's resolutions, um, and setting good examples.
Mm.
Cool.
Mm.
Let me get that in there. So,
And then concentrate.
hi everyone, welcome to Plug-in, the first of the year. My name's Kemi, and this is the
Nalini.
lovely. We are your hosts for today, and you are welcome to join us as well. So, if you would like to join us, feel free to make a request. And the rules of engagement is that we have no profanity. We're like, you know, clean in our speech and our language, and can't say the topic's always going to be on point and politically correct because we are human.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
have grace on us, but we are also about keeping it real. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely. And there's no judgment as well.
Yeah.
All entitled to our opinions. It was funny because I met a dad on the playground when I went to pick up my daughter this afternoon, and he was saying to me that his son
Mm-hmm.
with perfectionism, right? And I looked at him and I said, you know, perfection is a matter of perspective.
Mm.
Right.
Perfection is a matter of perspective.
Yeah. Well, okay. What are your thoughts on that?
Perfection is a matter of perspective. Yeah, I can see what you mean, but can you elaborate a bit more?
Okay, so for me, well, I don't like the word perfect. because I don't think it exists. What's perfect in my eyes may not be perfect in yours. And it's a standard that we put on ourselves,
Okay.
right? So that's why I say, that's why I make that statement. I think perfectionism is a matter of perspective. um, because you could, okay, so I like to bake, right? So I could bake a cake. It could be my favorite. I could have made it absolutely on point. It's absolutely perfect. You could walk along and taste it and say, oh, Nalini, I've tasted better.
Yeah, exactly. I guess I do. I think so. Yeah. I think,
But
I'm not saying I think so as in I think that I could taste better than your cake, but I mean,
you agree with my statement. I
agree.
got it. I got it. I know. I know what my cakes do. Okay. You're safe. Yeah, so it was interesting. We when I told him that this afternoon, he looked at me and he said, oh, it's true, because he does put it upon himself to be perfect.
Mm.
Oh yeah, there you go. So
And I wonder when, because I'm not a
mm.
perfectionist, so I wonder when people that are or would describe themselves as perfectionists. Are you a perfectionist in any area of your life?
uh, uh, no, but I like things to look pretty.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I don't do perfect. I don't know what perfect looks like.
Mm.
For me, things need to look pretty.
Like pretty
Yeah,
perfect.
no, not pretty perfect, but it's got to have that warm feeling, that warm fuzzy kind of feeling, like it just beautiful, that kind of vibe. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I wondered, like, in terms of perfectionists, when what's the level of contentment? So when it gets to a point when, that I'm so satisfied with
Mm,
this, it's my perfect, it's perfect as far as I'm concerned. And are they literally, is it a case of, doesn't matter what you say, it
mm.
doesn't matter if you don't think it's perfect. To my standard, it's perfect. And I'm happy with it.
That's right. Yeah.
But you can see even through the process of scrapping it. No, 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 don't like it, don't like it. Got to do it again, got to do it again.
Mm,
And you can see them going through that process. But I wonder if when it gets to their point where it's their perfect, they can actually be confident in themselves and say, yep, this is perfect. This is my perfect. As far as by my standards, this is perfect.
yeah, but if you're striving for perfect, I think you never reach it because you're never satisfied. Because is your aim to be pleasing somebody else's eyes, or is the aim to please your own? So if the aim is to please your own, then I guess you're always going to be satisfied because I've pleased myself. But if my aim is to get validation from external entities, then I'm never going to reach it because I'm never going to get that validation from someone.
Yeah.
So
Gotta be, it's that's what I'm trying to say, that it must, like, for it to be healthy, it must be a person's own standard of perfect.
that's right. Yeah, absolutely. And I think the strong point is when you don't waver from it,
Hmm.
right? So you hold your ground
Yeah.
and ah, this is good.
Yeah.
Like this, Kemi. I'm sorry you disagree, but I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
You,
I'm happy with it. You
Nay.
might like I, I think this is pretty
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah, exactly. Right. So yeah, I think when you have when you've reached your level of satisfaction,
Mhm.
I think that's where, yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Yeah, yeah.
But that's what about the other healthy habits? I wonder if anyone's got experience of having a teenage
Mm.
house, as in teenagers in the house. I'm saying it's usually around the teenager type but I guess it could be younger, where the young person has now, it's a new year, new goal, and they've come up with, I'm now no longer eating meat. I'm a vegetarian from now on, mum, dad, carer, whoever's cooking dinner. It's not me. Whoever's doing the shopping, and it's not me. And like, even going a step further, it's like, I'm on a plant-based diet, also known as I'm now a vegan.
Mm-hmm.
Dairy either. Not eating dairy, not eating fish, not eating
Egg,
egg, and no meat,
cheese,
chicken,
yeah.
all of that. And the family
Mm.
has to now adapt to this new eating, like dietary need.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wonder, the parents that have, I'd love to hear from parents that have had experience of that, or even young people, or someone who had done that as a child to their, you
Mm.
know, because do you think you would, accommodate it?
Would I accommodate it?
Mm.
I would be surprised if, especially Mira, if she turned around and she said, I'm going to be a vegetarian. I think my son and I would just, our jaws would just drop. Um, because I served them vegetarian food tonight for dinner because we had our harvest festival today. So we served, so I had a feast of vegetarian food. And she looked at me, oh, she said, I don't like the texture of the spinach in my mouth. Don't give me the pumpkin. I'm not eating that. And she ate the cauliflower. She looked at me, she said, I thought that was chicken.
And at which point did she discover that it was not chicken?
After she'd finished her meal. Right? And then,
On your cauliflower.
right? And Adam looked at her. Adam looked at her and said, oh man, you are a proper carnivore, aren't you? So if she turned around and she said, I think I'm going to be a vegetarian, I would, yeah, be
You'll be shocked.
I
Yeah.
would, but I would accommodate it. I think there's a difference between being vegetarian and being vegan. I think that's another extreme. I mean, there's nothing wrong if you choose to go down that path. It's a choice, right? But I think if she was to go down that road, I I'd need to know that she's doing it for the right reasons and the full extreme of going down that road and standing behind it. Do you know what I
So
mean?
just challenge you a bit. What is the difference between, you say that being
Mm.
vegan, and I suppose at that age it's gonna be interesting to hear what the reasonings would be. And I know we're kind of making this up because your daughter hasn't
Yeah.
said what she's gonna do. But like, what would you be just as interested in the reasons if she said she was going to be a vegetarian?
Uh, yeah, yes and no. Because being vegetarian, like, I mean, it could just be a health thing that she's going to go through. Um, and yeah, so being vegetarian is is a health thing. I go through moments where I want to be vegetarian. Um, but going vegan is another extreme where you're changing your lifestyle. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going against anything that's animal product, you know. And I'm assuming, and this is an assumption, like totally an assumption, that people that eat, that are vegans, like, don't, that wouldn't go down the road of wearing leather or
Yeah. Okay.
wool, like it. Do you know what I mean? Like, which extent are you going to be vegan?
Yeah. And I think the terminology
Mm.
vegan can be misused. I think there's a difference between I'm on a plant-based diet, so
Mm.
um, done,
Yeah.
who I am vegan, therefore and I'm against animal cruelty, and therefore everything that I wear is synthetic, and I don't like you'll never see me catch me in leather. I
Mm.
think it's different, and plus, I'm also with the kind of view of why is it so bad? It's not animal cruelty if like the animals die of natural death, is it?
No, no.
But that's another kind of thing. But in terms of
But see, the thing is, it's really hard for me to even think that way, purely because, well, one, I don't do leather anyway. Oh, yeah, I do leather. Sorry, pardon me. I do leather. But steak's my favorite meal to eat. So it's just thinking going vegan, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't know. I just,
well, Lucy Lou has put in the chat. I
yeah.
decided to become a vegetarian at age 14. My mum said, "All the more meat for us." My siblings laughed at me too. I lasted 2 months, and I couldn't take the scrutiny of my new eating habit. She then goes on to say, plus the smell of cooked chicken, lamb, meat was just a complete winder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we've got um Andrea 21965 says, I'm a mum of 5 adult children and I have 2 at home, one who doesn't eat anything white and the other who only eats veg and fish, no dairy. We accommodate their dietary needs by agreeing a weekly menu. So I
That's,
wonder if that is like, as a family, they say that on these days we're going to eat like veg and fish because so and so
mm.
only likes, is that's what they're eating. So we accommodate a weekly menu is a good idea, isn't it?
I think that's fair and understandable. And she said 5 adult children, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's yeah, that's understandable, and it's fair. And if you're an adult, I guess you understand what you've decided to do.
And also, I think at that age,
Yeah.
those kids, children, 5 adult children should be cooking.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, actually, um, Kemi, I knew of a family, and their daughter went vegetarian or vegan. I can't remember.
Hmm.
And vegan, actually. Uh, when she was like 13, 14 years old,
All
but
right.
her family accommodated it.
Hmm.
It's but the the funniest thing was, I mean, God bless her, she made me laugh all the time. But she's a very picky eater. So even being vegetarian, she was very picky at what she ate.
All right.
Right. So even with the vegetables, I think her favorite thing was to eat mushrooms, but then she didn't like things like broccoli or something like. Do you know what I mean? So I found that quite fascinating. But her family accommodated.
Well, that so this are we talking about dealing with picky eaters now?
No, no. I think.
Or if we want to call, I don't even know if that is the correct terminology, or
A bit of.
it's fair to call them to say fussy eaters, picky eaters, but
Well, I guess you're stating it as it is, right? Like
mm.
Mira's beautiful, but if I don't feed her the rice and curry with all the vegetables mixed in it, like she won't eat her vegetables. So
Yeah.
and she is fussy, like she doesn't like mushrooms because she doesn't like the texture of mushrooms.
Mm.
Tonight I learnt that she doesn't like the texture of spinach in her mouth. And I'm like,
Oh.
right. So, yeah. I think it's hard, but it's beautiful to see parents accommodating that, though, respecting their
Yeah.
and going with
Mm.
it. Oh, you would if the girls came home and said, "Mom, I'm going to be vegetarian."
Yeah, I'd have to, wouldn't I? Because they've got to eat. Um, well, Andrea also says it helps with budgeting,
Yeah,
having a weekly menu. Um, I mean, growing up, we had a
yeah,
menu. So I always knew what I was going to have. There was no surprises,
mm,
and I actually think it is healthy. It's quite a healthy way to live because your diet is is restricted. I think people that have like a restricted
yeah,
diet, I don't know, but I have a feeling that they live longer because they're not like pumping their body with lots of other different like stuff. It's probably like real home cooked
mm,
food. So it was for
mm,
me growing up, it was all home cooked food. There was hardly any processed food. I think we had one day that was processed. It was like that was the day where we could have chips and pie or whatever and
yeah,
nuggets or
yeah,
whatever. But
yeah,
that's one day in the week. The rest of the week was all home cooked fresh food.
mm,
So I kind of get I'm trying to adopt that at home
mhm.
now. That's my New Year's kind of
Oh, really?
do it
Mm,
anyway, but I'm really more intentional about the fact that we a lot of the food that is cooked at home is going to be food that's cooked. There's a word for it. Not home cooked, fresh cooking. Well, just non-processed anyway.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like home cooked meals, like
Yeah,
fresh,
but,
fresh.
but some people might consider things like chicken nuggets and chips as a home cooked meal. Clean, clean food, clean eating, clean cooking, clean like
Well, it's not in the oven.
yeah.
It's
Like
not preheat
in my ideal
from
world, if I was gonna make this
scratch.
is from scratch. Yeah, in my ideal world, if I was gonna make chicken nuggets, it would be like I have made the chicken nuggets. I got the chicken breast. I put a tempura batter on it. I've deep fried it or whatever. Put it in the
Yeah,
air fryer. I've made,
yeah,
but no, I'm not at that stage yet. If it is chicken nuggets, it's gonna be probably from frozen and in the oven. Butterflies with Rainbow says, I have 3 picky eaters. Most definitely love a meal plan for the week. Means everyone gets a say and also removes needing to cook several meals a
yeah,
night. Yeah, that's so
yeah.
true.
That is true.
And just giving young people choice to make healthy decisions. Yeah, that's quite important as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, when I have the kids, I it, everything's cooked. Like I cook all my meals, unless I'm had a really rubbish day and I'm like, I'm really sorry, but
It's
I'm good tonight, right? And but they're usually quite understanding if that's the case.
yeah,
But everything is cooked, and like Andrea said, and Butterflies said, it is pre-planned. So I'll discuss. I'll be like, oh, what do you guys fancy this week? I've got X, Y, and Z. What do you want? And they kind of decide what they want to
yeah,
eat.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think it also makes it easier for us as parents because then you're not sitting there thinking the worst job is what am I going to cook.
I think there's worse jobs than that, but yeah, that.
True. All right. Yeah, I get that. There are worse jobs than that, but I think my biggest challenge is what am I going to cook?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That can and then I think a meal plan does
Mm,
help, at least having like a repertoire of it's this,
mm,
and I think it's nice to give them a choice,
mm.
yes, but it's a choice between this or that.
Yeah.
Like let's go overboard in terms of the different choices that you can have.
Yeah.
Like I'm a magician, not like gonna be able to magic up I don't know, trying to think.
Uh,
Anyway.
yeah, yeah. No, 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 I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. So usually I'd say, I've got chicken, and they'd be like, oh, can I have?
Right. Yeah.
Right. And whatever is easier out of the two, I'll make.
Yeah. I get.
Yeah. So.
And I like to because my girls
Mm,
have allergies,
mm.
so it does become a case of sometimes I am cooking for different. So um like there's a dairy allergy, and then my eldest is like, please don't give me anything dairy free. Oh, my eldest has a coconut allergy.
Oh.
So what you find is sometimes the dairy replacement is coconut
Mm-hmm.
based. So okay, well you can't have the dairy free. So things like lasagna
Mm-hmm.
would be made with the dairy free option.
So that's without the white sauce.
Oh no, the white sauce is made with oat milk and
Oh, right. Okay. Right.
but
Okay.
then my eldest will be like, well, I want lasagna. I want I want something pasta based, or I would quite like lasagna, but obviously I'm not having your dairy free one. So there's little things like that where I have to make moderate
Yeah.
it, modify in terms of what I eat and what I make for them.
Mm. But
And then yeah.
I guess, but I think because you've been doing it for a while, there's ways of wangling around it.
Yeah, and you just you get used to it and you
Yeah.
accommodate and things like that. So I think we've probably convinced ourselves that if you do have someone in your family, a child comes home and says, it's January, it's a new year, this year I'm going to try something different, a bit like Lucille did, I'm going to be a vegetarian, and you're like, could be like her mum and just say, well, great, all the more meat for the rest of us. We'll just like make it. It's not like you're doing anything different.
Yeah.
We'll have food and we'll take your meat out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the other side of it is, of a certain age, it's about making sure your child has all those nutrients. So I would say that one of the biggest concerns about my child saying I'm vegan or I'm going on a plant-based diet is, how do I supplement all those things that you're missing out on?
Mm-hmm.
You're having a balanced diet and to make sure you're getting all the minerals and nutrients that you need to grow.
Yeah.
And also at 14, at that age as well, like we've seen it with the Butterfly Project,
Mm.
hormones are like, and a lot of, I believe, some of the challenges that young people are facing, particularly young girls are facing, particularly during their cycle,
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
down to
Yeah.
diet. So
Yeah.
if you've got a child, that a young person, your teenage daughter comes back and says, right, at this time, I'm going to cut out all of these things, that could just have like massive implications on their hormone levels, their mood, their energy,
Yeah.
their sleep patterns, and all of these things, you know, and they've got to be just as educated about these choices and the impact that it can have.
Yeah. That's right. They have to, and there is so much more information out there than there was many years ago, right? So
Mm.
Instagram last week, I can't remember when, but recently, and it was a study based on women in Japan
Mm.
and how, well, please nobody come back and say your information is incorrect, because this is not my information. It was information that I got
Okay.
from Instagram, right? But anyway,
Instagram is the source of all good information, right?
right?
Right.
Um, and they said that women in Japan don't go through menopause. In fact, in fact, it said something along the lines of, there is no word in their language for menopause,
Right.
hot sweats, all that kind of stuff. Like, it doesn't exist. And it came down to three ingredients that they eat a lot of:
What is it? What are the ingredients? Do you
uh,
remember?
broccoli,
Okay.
so
That's this.
soybean based food like tofu, right?
Okay.
And the other one is a root, ash, yeah,
Ashwanga.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yes.
That is really good, and it's really
Mm.
good for like um weight loss and like um yeah.
Really? Okay. So in their diet, these three things that it's quite high in their diet, and this is the reason why they look young, and these are the reasons why they don't go through menopause. Apparently,
Wow.
this is the information that but
And,
funny.
who's going out tomorrow to buy broccoli tofu and is going on Amazon to order their ashwanga?
Hey, you go to any Asian.
I'm probably not saying it right, by the way, but
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, but you were on it. Where was it? Well, I'm sure you can get ashwanga in like Indian supermarkets and stuff.
Yeah,
Like because I'm sure it's Indian. It's that way, Asia.
yeah.
Uh, uh, but yeah, so this is what I was really impressed. I was like, oh, really? Are you sure? Mm.
Okay, so Andrea says celebrate their decision, but an ideal time to take an interest in why and how this is going to work for them.
Yeah,
Mm.
but it's also self discovery.
And I think it is, like you said, that the fact that we have the internet now,
Mm.
in I mean we've had it for a long time, but it's just literally at our fingertips. If ever we've got a question, we could just go online and find
Mm.
out. Everything is like readily available to order. You've got, if you've got Amazon, if you're into things like Amazon
Yeah,
Prime,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
everything like the next day.
yeah.
I tried to go into a shop today and discovered that you know what, forget it. Just forget trying to go physically into a shop. I was going to buy some dumbbells. This is me.
Oh, so
Yeah,
this is your resolution then.
you
Goodness.
know what? I'm trying a little few things. I'm playing around with a few ideas. So I was like, I'm gonna get some weights. I'm gonna see if I can build up my core muscle strength by doing some weights each morning. So and then I was in this store and I thought, you know what? I'm just creating clutter.
Did you just talk yourself
I
out of
did.
it?
I was like, I'm gonna create clutter. I really don't need any more just like stuff in the house. But and then I thought, actually, I've got more choice on Amazon. I know we shouldn't be giving Amazon, no, it should be like name dropping at the moment because it's not like they're sponsoring us, but
Yeah,
it's like it's so difficult to go into a store and find what you want and buy it and get exactly the same
yeah,
thing. That thing for a fraction, like competing on price and all of those things.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I digress a
It's easier. Like you go into say even uh, ordering clothes. Sometimes you go into the store, it's not there, but it's
yeah,
online,
yeah.
right? And they look at you and say, "Oh, but the online service is very different to our shop floor. Like you've got to do that online. You've got to order on, but you can collect it in the store." And I'm like, "Dude, what's the point?"
Well, no, you can collect it in the store, take it to the fitting room, try it on, decide whether you like it, and then literally
Leave it.
return it the same day. Like, it just saves you a trip to the post office if it all goes wrong,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. I guess that. Yeah, yeah. I think you can. Yeah, yeah. I guess so. But it's just, for me, it's the like you said, it's not
I
practical.
know. Look at that. We have
It's not
become so
practical.
like internet driven. I don't know what the word is,
Yeah.
but literally, if it's not convenient, it's not practical. Back in the day, we was all in and out of shops. That was our
Mhm.
leisure time.
Mm. Oh, it still is mine.
Is it? You like to actually go physically
I
shopping?
love going shopping. I love going shopping. I think it is one of my favorite things to do.
Oh
Yeah.
wow! Do you like your children?
Pardon?
Do you like shopping with your children?
Mm, the question is,
Do they like shopping with you?
Like, okay. So, I've got to say to my, I've got to say to me, because where I live, there's a shopping center near me. And if I'm going there, my kids will say, "Oh, can you get us bubble tea from that shop?" Because there's one near me, and the bubble tea is really nice in there, right? So, and that's the only way Mira will come with me, because I can leave my son at home, but for me, it's like I don't know. It's just I'm like, no, come with me, Mama. So she'll come. It's bribing.
Hmm.
You got to totally bribe her.
You do like shopping with your children then?
Yeah. I do, but they don't. They don't. Others like, hell no, I'm not coming.
I'm literally, mine is on the verge of, especially my oldest. It's all about like, what are you gonna buy me?
Oh, okay.
It's expensive.
Mm.
It's always gonna be cost me more than I
Mm-hmm.
planned, and I'm a bit impulsive anyway. So to have
Are
like
you?
yeah.
Are you? I didn't know that.
Oh, you've been sarcastic. No, like that's a new year, not so impulsive. Um, yeah, I would go into shops like, and it's even grocery shopping. I don't like for that reason,
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
because it can be like, oh, we have this, can we have that? I'm like, that's not on my budget. Like my pretending budget, that's not on my budget. That's not my like shopping list. My like made up shopping list that's in my head.
That's why the other day on Friday you said to me, "What? You're already going home? Like, have you done like the shopping and you're going home now?"
I get sidetracked. I,
That's really.
I went into a shop today after the school run to buy like caddy
Mhm.
bin bags, and I ended up in an electrical shop. I was thinking I'm gonna get one of these, like I'm gonna get those torches for the show, for tonight's show. So like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Then I thought I'm gonna, then I went in and I asked, can I just have a look and see, do you have any Bluetooth headphones? Like that was not on my list. Why? Because I just thought, oh, just in case I can't find my like
Oh, yeah.
headphones up. No, I didn't buy them, thank God. Because I saw the price. I was like, oh my goodness, everything's so expensive. Then what else was there on my little kind of, let me see what you've got.
Yeah.
I did that, and then I went into another shop. I thought, let me just go and see about these weights. Thankfully, I didn't buy those either. But generally speaking, I can be really impulsive, but I'm getting better.
Oh,
Well, week
okay.
2 of January, week 2 of the year, 50 more weeks to go. I might conquer my shopping, impulsive shopping.
You're funny. You are funny. The only time, well, no, the thing is, well, one, I stop myself, right? But my eyes love gazing. So, especially kitchenware. That I love my kitchenware. I could go. It's like a kid in a candy store. Oh, look at that.
I know. I wonder what are my children's vices then, things. My youngest is everything's got to be like an LOL doll.
Right. Yeah.
So we're inundated with those little miniature toys.
Hmm. Hmm.
And my eldest is probably clothes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Not cheap clothes either. What is butterflies with rainbow say? I'm with you on that one. I can go without small people. I will, unless it's sometimes specifically needed for them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About the age at which your children start getting their own sense of style and choice. Like my 7-year olds previously used to be a case of, probably up until the age of 5, I think, I could literally buy them something and say, look what I bought you, you're going to wear this.
Mm.
And now it's like, no, I don't like it.
That's because because they've got an older sister.
Oh, do you think that's why?
Yeah,
So say
oh, yeah,
is
yeah.
it early developed style of I don't like that, I don't want to wear that?
Yeah, because they've got somebody to look at, right? Um, I had a horrible sense of style when I was younger, because I didn't have an older person in my life, older sister.
Mm-hmm.
Since like I grew up with a bunch of boys, right? Um, so I had no idea. And but Mira's got her cousin who is 13,
Yeah.
and she is a very stylish young
Mm-hmm.
lady. Uh, and I think Mira's kind of learnt, but she's got her own style anyway. But yeah, I think you're positively influenced.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. I would say, yeah, but yeah, for yours, I would definitely say it's probably because of your older one that the younger ones are looking, saying, "Oh, but no, why do I need to look like a dag? Like, but she gets to look all funky."
Hello. It's like what's
Yeah,
happening?
but didn't you find that when you were growing up? Like, did you have influences around you, like older cousins?
Yeah, I did. And generally I kind of liked the stuff that my mum bought for me. I think I was so grateful that she's bought me stuff. Like, oh, I've got something new. So I was never
Mm.
really I did yeah, I don't know when I started to get a bit fussy and it used to be like go from I feel like I was a lot older, maybe like 11, 12, 30, maybe 12.
Yeah, I think I was older than
You think
that.
you're a bit
Yeah,
older
yeah,
than that?
yeah. I think I was older than that when I started.
I don't
Um,
like that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. My dad would take me shopping because mum would always be at work, so dad would take us shopping, and he'd be like, "Go, you go find your, go find what you want." So yeah, so I didn't have anybody else to blame but myself. Yeah. Mm.
And another I mean we've got 13 more minutes, but another topic I would like to like touch on is our children saving money. Woo! Love you, love you, love you. It's scary where you're like, why are you just standing at the top of the stairs in a white nightgown? Do you not know how freaky that is?
Apologies. Do you know? All right, I'm gonna finish. Just wait, please. Kiss. Okay. Sorry, you were saying. What
Pocket
you want to?
money, not pocket money, not just pocket money, but what are your thoughts in terms of our kids?
Mm-hmm. I think it is something to encourage
Mm-hmm,
in a world where uh, mm, money is so easily disposed.
mm-hmm,
If you bring them up with that kind of attitude,
mm-hmm,
never going to appreciate it. Uh,
mm-hmm,
if you get them to save and work for it, like do little chores around the house. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's not just about you sitting there just getting, doing all your maths and your English and your science, but it's like partake in the house as well. Take ownership of your bedroom.
mm-hmm,
Um, just and getting pocket money for that. I think it shows value. It adds more value to money.
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And what about spending it? Do you feel that in saving their money, which they probably would have got from different sources, not just from us as
Mm.
parents, but also like relatives, birthday money, and so on, do you think that they should have the freedom to spend it how they please?
Yeah. Yes, yes. yes and no. Um, because sometimes I've seen it with my own,
Mm,
right? Why I say sometimes it's like, oh, I've got this, so I'm just going to go shopping. And Mira loves to go to Claire's, like that's her like her go-to place.
mhm,
Um, and so she would go in there and she would just buy for the sake of buying because she has money, and
mhm.
I don't like that. Doesn't sit right
Yeah,
with me
yeah.
because I'm like, well, you don't need
Mm,
it, so why are you buying something then
that you don't
that
need.
you
Yeah.
don't need?
Mm.
Um,
And this is kind of like what we were saying in the beginning about setting good examples, and me having to realize that I've got to um, kind of curtail my whimsical
mm,
sprays of I'm just going to buy something that I haven't thought about on the
yeah,
impulse. At the same time, we've got little children that's got birthday money, or teenagers or what have you, that's um, got cash in their pockets or stuff on their cards, and they're like, well, I can buy it if I want because it's my money and I can spend it on what I want. But really having that conversation about, really, do you
yeah,
need it? do,
yeah.
do you really need another one of those things? And um is it value for money? Is it worth it? Well, my daughter's just like all about OPM, other people's money. Let me not spend mine, but I'd rather spend
Mm-hmm,
yours. So she'll hold on to it and be like, can you buy me this? Like, why?
mm,
Like, well, I think it's your responsibility as my mum.
mm-hmm,
Um, this. And she will save her money for the stuff that she knows I'm totally against.
mm-hmm,
But like, it's still, in a sense, she's got the freedom because she's got the money.
mm-hmm,
Once it's gone, it's gone. They learn about, yeah, they then learn about how easy it is to spend it all, and also to see the pride in them when they've bought something by themselves. Yeah. My eldest has found her independent, I guess, a sense of independence in buying hair
oh,
dye. And I think it's like a rinse,
right, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
semi-permanent, but buying hair dye and dyeing her hair. And it was like the first time I'd seen it, I was like, I said you shouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm,
I was already like, before we had a conversation, I said, no, I'm not supporting
mm-hmm.
that. But she got her money, went to the shop, bought it herself, and did it herself.
Oh wow. Okay. I don't know if that'll sit well with me.
Mm,
Um, I think one thing I'm fortunate about is the fact that Mira's father and I are kind of on the same page when it comes to certain things. And it
mm,
goes with I am a no makeup person. I tell her all the time. I say you are not wearing makeup out. You're 9 years old. Like you don't need to wear makeup. She'll
mm.
wear.
It's like, we've got 8 minutes. Should we wrap this up quickly?
Quickly now. Right. But I'm quite, like I said, I'm quite fortunate. So whenever she's been away with her dad or when she's with her dad, um, he's also on the same wavelength. He's like, no, your mum said no makeup. There's no makeup.
Mm.
You know, I think he would. I. Makeup on my face to play at home myself. One.
Okay, thank you for contributing to our show.
My humble apologies, Kemi.
It's so great to have you on air.
um, yeah. So yeah, I think we would both have a hissy fit, if I can say that, if she was to do something like that. Like I, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
But then is also the child that will look at me and say, "Well, you color your hair." So it's to you hypocrite.
Yeah, but there's certain, we talked about certain example, but it's like, well, I am like a lot older, you know,
I am the parent. Let's remember that.
adult child relationship.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
child. Yeah, I've, you know, and not understanding the risk. Like I had to explain to my daughter that you've got to understand that you can have an allergic reaction to these things, these products, and you know, as much as you're following the instructions on the
Yeah.
box,
Yeah.
um, it could be
Yeah.
devastating. But
I mean, if she was to go into a hair salon and actually get it done professionally, they'd actually give her a color
yeah,
test,
yeah,
right? A patch test, right? So, yeah, to see if she would react to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I've had, and I react to it, so I'm very nervous around it.
Mm.
Um, but I think it's an interesting kind of nowadays. I think once we know what our children's
Mm.
limits are and their boundaries and what they would and wouldn't do, it makes it easier for us to navigate
Mm.
and be able to. But I feel like a lot of young people are in this world of, there are those that, I don't know whether it's a lot of young people actually, but I'm not sure whether it's a case of experimenting, being open to experiment with ideas and thoughts, and whether they are clear on, these are my values, these are my boundaries, this is a firm no, I'm very
Yeah.
clear. I mean the young people that we
Mm.
see, I would say a majority are not clear.
No.
They're not fixed.
No.
It can be a bit kind
Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
because my self-esteem is a little bit not where it should be. I don't have a strong sense of identity. Um, I can't really articulate what my boundaries are.
Yeah. But also the young people that we work with, um, the young people that we work with also um, are come to us in different circumstances. So I think it's harder. It's harder. Sorry. It's on time.
So, like 3 more minutes. In
Three.
fact, you say
Three.
last part, and then we'll say our farewells to everybody.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I think it's harder using our youths as examples.
Yeah.
But if we look at ourselves, I think you experimented when you were a kid. I mean, you were discovering who you were, right? I'm
Mm.
saying that I think circumstances are so different. Like I was dropping my son off at school last week, and this young girl, school uniform, walks past vaping, and I'm like, really? I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Why? Why are you vaping?
Mm. Yeah.
You know, so it's yeah, you're experimenting, but experimenting with vape, like,
Mm.
you know what I mean? Yeah, it's tricky. Kemi, I think we need to wrap up.
We
I've
do.
got a person in my kitchen now.
Yep. I think we
Yeah,
should wrap up and
yeah,
say to everyone, look, we are back next week. DM us if you've got some topics that you want us to look at next week and discuss. And let us know if you want to come on and co-host with us. We'll be happy to have
we
you
will.
on. And see you again next week. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. See you guys. Good night, Kemi. All
Bye.
right, bye bye.